What's going on, guys? So it's Derek here from No BS Auto Rehab, and today we've got a little bit of a different video for you. With the new 2020 Explorer coming out, today I wanted to talk about why we chose the 2019 Explorer and why I think it might be the better choice for your family when it comes to looking at the Explorer. So the 2020 coming out, of course, there's a lot of new things coming out for it, a lot of different technology. It's going back to rear-wheel drive, which is pretty cool. But for the price that you're going to pay for it and the features that you're going to lose that I'm going to talk about, I really believe this 2019 might be the better choice for your family. So with that, I'm going to get into my top 3 reasons on why I think the 2019 Explorer is better than the 2020 for your family. So of course, the first thing to talk about here is the price. So any new model vehicle coming out is obviously going to be more expensive than the last one. But the 2019, since the 2020 is coming and it is brand new, all the car lots are trying to get these things off of their lot in order to make room for the 2020s. So with this XLT that we got with the Sport Appearance package, we ended up walking off the dealership saving about $10,000 off MSRP. So that's absolutely insane when you think about how much these cars cost, the MSRP that they're at sitting on the lot. So when you compare each trim level of the new 2020 Explorer, they do get more expensive, and I'm going to try to find a chart and put it up on the video so you can see the differences between all the different trim levels. So the model we went with is the XLT, and this one has the Sport Appearance package. So that's a cool package that you can get where you get the sport model seats, the black wheels, and it also gets rid of all the chrome around the vehicle. The 2020 does not have that package. So in order for you to get this look, you're gonna have to jump all the way up to the Sport, which costs way more than any other Explorer other than the Limited that's coming out. So for us, when we were looking at our Explorer, this was the big color combo we wanted. We wanted the magnetic gray with the black wheels. I just think it looks super sharp. And eventually, of course, we're gonna get the windows tinted and possibly the roof vinyl wrap gloss black, and that'll make this thing really pop. But we love the look of this Explorer, and that's one big reason why we ended up choosing it. A, because of price, but B, because of this trim level that we could get that you're gonna have to pay a lot more for in order to get it in the 2020. So the next thing I want to talk about the new 2020 is the interior. So the 2020 Explorer, the first and the second row, they actually reduced the headroom a little bit, which for me being 5'10", it's not really that big an issue. But if you're 6 foot or taller, losing that headroom is gonna be a huge inconvenience for you. Although it's not very much, it might feel a little bit tighter sitting up here in the front seats. But the big thing about the 2020 Explorer, the one thing that they did do better, is the car on the outside is not actually any wider, but each row actually gives you more hip room. So the interior of the vehicle is actually going to feel bigger than what the interior of the 2019 does. The 2020 also, in the first and second rows, they give you more legroom, which is a good thing because you're going to feel more roomy. But I will explain to you why I don't necessarily like that once I get to the back of the vehicle. But all these changes for 2020 are basically built around driver comfort. Going back to rear-wheel drive and the way that you sit in the vehicle, it's going to be more comfortable to drive. It's going to feel more sporty when you drive it. But at the same time, like I said, it's going to come with a more premium cost. So once I get to the back of the vehicle, I'll explain to you why that's not really the best thing, especially when you're looking at it for your family, not necessarily just... Alright, so the biggest issue I have with the new Explorer for the interior is the fact that this third seat, it actually cost an additional $4,600 in order to get it in the car. So for the 2020, for some reason, I don't know if it's what people wanted, but they removed the center seat in order for people to crawl around and get to the back seat. So my original thought is buying this car for my family. We've got a baby on the way, so we need somewhere to put this baby carrier. And of course, the safest spot in a vehicle is going to be the center in the middle. And removing that is going to force you to put the seat on the outside. But not only that, now you're losing another seat in the vehicle. So you're taking it from a 7-passenger vehicle down to a 6-passenger. And for me, buying it for a family, we're eventually going to have extra kids, maybe a couple families riding together in the same vehicle. losing that one extra seat could be a huge deal. Whenever you click on adding the second row bench seat, when you build your new 2020 on Ford's website, it forces you to upgrade the electronics package from the 200 to the 202A, which does give you a lot more features as far as technology and electronics. But just to get an extra seat, $4,600 is absolutely insane, especially when the base price of the vehicle has already went up from the 2019. So for me, that made it a no-go, and that's really hard for me to understand why they would do that. So my last biggest gripe about the 2020 coming out is the cargo space when you have the third row seats up. So if you look at the 2019, below the seats, you have about 1.5 feet of empty space where you can put duffel bags, you can put suitcases, you can put all kinds of luggage back here behind the third row. And again, most of the time it's not going to matter, but when you do have a full car full of people, maybe going on vacation or something like that, and you have to get bags for 7 people into the back of this Explorer, having all this space is going to be a huge necessity for you. The 2020, since it's going rear wheel drive, they're going to have a place to put the drive shaft, put the axle, redo all the suspension components in order to make it all fit. And in order for them to do that, they had to raise the floorboard in the back of the Explorer to make all that stuff work. And the biggest complaint of the 2019 is the fact that you can't go very many miles on one tank of fuel. So on the 2020, they did make the tank bigger so that you get more range, but the gas mileage is not that much better. It's only about 1, maybe 2 miles to the gallon better on each trim level going up, with the exception of the new hybrid coming out, which is pretty cool. But again, we lost all that storage space. For me, that's a huge lose on the 2020. And I got the 2019 because I knew it was going to have all that space that we needed in order to get everybody's stuff in the back of the vehicle. So one area where the 2020 is a little bit better is whenever you get full cargo storage with the second and third row seats laid down. Are you serious?
Sorry. It's crawling on me. Blooper.
Another one.
Go.
So one area where the 2020 Explorer is a little bit better is the full cargo capacity whenever you have the second and third row seats folded down. So that's going to be the cargo capacity that Ford is going to market like crazy, showing that it has more cubic feet of storage area available. But it's only when the seats are folded down. It's not when you have all 3 rows up when you actually need the storage like we just talked about. So yeah, it's cool if you're going to use this car as an all-around maybe construction getter. If you want to lay sheets of plywood or drywall or anything in the back of the Explorer, you can fit a 4x8 piece of plywood in the new Explorer. But for most people driving the Explorer, it is going to be their family vehicle, not their work truck. So for me, it's cool, but it's not really something that's needed in order to get me to upgrade to the 2020. So with that, those are my 3 biggest reasons why the 2019 Explorer I think is better for your family than the 2020. Price, the fact that you have to pay extra for the center seat, and less cargo room behind the third row seat are huge downfalls for me when it comes to the 2020. Not only that, but if you think about it, with the 2020 coming out, there's so much hype around it that you can probably get a slightly used 2019 that got taken back for trade on a 2020 for even less than what we paid for this one. And like I say, when you can get a brand new vehicle right now for about $10,000 off MSRP, it's kind of hard to pass up that deal. And when you're looking at something for your family, you want something with the best value, the best usage of space, as well as everything that's going to get what you want out of your vehicle. And for me, the 2019 does just that. But I will tell you where the 2020 does win. In terms of power with the new Sport model, the new 3.0 twin turbo motor that's coming out. In terms of drivability, being rear wheel drive, it is going to drive more sporty and more aggressive like. And in terms of looks, of course the 2020 does look better because it is a lot more sporty than this one. But at the same time, you can't get a sport appearance package in the 2020 with these dark wheels and no chrome unless you get the Sport model, which is going to cost way more than an XLT model like we have here. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this comparison between the 2019 and 2020 Ford Explorer, and I hope it'll help your decision when you look into buying one of these new Explorers and which one is going to be better for your family. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. It really does help the channel get out. And if you'd like to see more content, maybe more reviews and comparisons like this, be sure to leave a comment in the description of what you want to see. And again, for more how-tos, I'll see you guys in the next videos. Thank you for watching.